Have you ever wondered why you're being asked to pay nearly six figures for 3 trucks that will bankrupt you? Is it possible that we are currently witnessing a 2026 reliability disaster disguised as innovation, or are we simply reaching the breaking point of automotive engineering? Why is it that the more we pay for technology, the less we seem to get in terms of actual long-term longevity? Why are trucks that were designed to be the backbone of our workforce now struggling to make it to their first major service interval without a catastrophic electronic or mechanical failure? I've been turning wrenches for over 23 years, and I've never seen a gap this wide between the glossy marketing hype you see on TV and the grim mechanical reality I see on my lift every Monday morning. Consumer Reports just dropped their 2026 reliability data, and it isn't just a warning, it's an autopsy of a market that has lost its way. Today, we aren't just looking at horsepower or towing specs, we're asking the hard questions that the dealerships want to ignore. Is that massive 15-inch dashboard screen worth a $4,000 repair bill once the warranty expires? Is a twin turbocharged 6-cylinder really a replacement for a naturally aspirated V8? Or is it just a ticking time bomb designed to satisfy emissions regulators at the expense of your bank account? We're diving deep into the data behind the 2026 Ram 1500, the structural questions surrounding the Tesla Cybertruck, and the emissions trap of the Ford Superduty. If you care about your financial freedom, you cannot afford to skip this intel. How did we get to a point where a truck is considered luxury even if it can't keep its own instrument cluster from going black at highway speeds? Our first candidate for the 2026 reliability disaster is the Ram 1500, a truck that used to be defined by the predictable rumble of the Hemi V8 but has now transitioned into a high-tech experiment. For 2026, Ram has bet everything on the Hurricane 3.0L twin-turbo inline-6. Now here's the question. When you take a smaller engine and force it to work twice as hard to move a 3-ton luxury pickup, what do you think happens to the heat levels inside that engine block? According to pickuptrucktalk.com and the latest 2026 Consumer Report surveys, the Ram 1500 is currently sitting at the dead bottom of the full-size segment for predicted reliability. But why is it just the engine? No, it's the brain of the vehicle. Have you ever had your smartphone freeze during an important update? Now imagine that happening to the computer that controls your climate, your navigation, and your safety sensors while you're towing a heavy trailer through a mountain pass. 2026 owners are reporting total electronic blackouts where the entire dashboard goes dark. If your truck controls your brakes, your steering weight, and your engine cooling through a centralized screen, and that screen fails, what exactly are you left with besides an $80,000 paperweight? From a mechanic's perspective, the Hurricane engine is a masterclass in overcomplication. In my shop, I've already seen early 2026 models with turbocharger coolant leaks and wastegate failures before they even hit 10,000 miles. These turbos are tucked so tightly into the engine bay that the heat soak is literally cooking the plastic connectors, rubber seals, and sensitive sensors that surround them. Why did the engineers think this was a sustainable design for a work truck? It's not a matter of if these components will fail, it's a matter of when. And when they do, you aren't looking at a quick fix. On these modern Rams, replacing a turbocharger isn't a $500 job. We're talking thousands of dollars in labor because the entire front end of the truck often has to be disassembled just to access the plumbing. Are you really willing to pay an extra $15,000 for a Hurricane engine that hasn't proven it can survive a single summer in the desert? Are you buying a truck that belongs on a job site? Or are you buying a truck that belongs in a climate-controlled software lab? Can a truck really be a truck if you can't fix it with a basic set of tools? That brings us to our second entry in the 3 trucks that will bankrupt you, the Tesla Cybertruck. In 2026, the honeymoon phase for this stainless steel experiment is officially over, and the data is finally catching up to the hype. Consumer Reports has labeled it a high-risk purchase, and the real-world reports from owners are starting to paint a terrifying picture. But the question we need to ask isn't, is it fast? We already know it's fast. The question is it durable? Because in the world of trucks, speed doesn't get the job done if you're stuck in a service center waiting for a proprietary part that's on back order for 6 months. Have you heard of gigacasting? It's how Tesla makes the frame of the Cybertruck in massive single pieces to save on manufacturing costs. It's great for Tesla's profit margins, but what happens to you when you hit a curb or a deep pothole? In a traditional body-on-frame truck, you replace a bent component. In a 2026 Cybertruck, if that massive casting cracks or bends, the entire vehicle is often considered totaled by insurance companies. Is that the kind of innovation you want to rely on? The reports from early 2026 owners are highlighting a trend that should stay every buyer: steer-by-wire failures. Why did Tesla decide to remove the physical mechanical connection between the steering wheel and the tires? What happens when the sensors disagree with the software, or a localized power surge glitches the system? We are already seeing reports of structural shears in the suspension arms. Because this truck uses a stiff, stainless steel exoskeleton, it doesn't have the give or crumple zones that traditional trucks use to absorb energy. When you hit a bump at high speed, that energy has to go somewhere, and usually it goes straight into the aluminum control arms, which we've seen snapping like toothpicks. If your steering is controlled entirely by a computer program, and that program has a bug or a hardware failure, are you really a driver anymore? Or are you just a passenger in a $100,000 experiment that has no mechanical fail-safe? What is actually the most expensive part on a modern pickup? Is it the engine block? The transmission gears? No. In 2026, the most expensive part is a sensor, and that is exactly why the Ford F-250 Superduty is our #1 pick for the truck most likely to bankrupt the average owner. Why is the most powerful and capable truck in Ford's lineup also the most vulnerable to a simple software glitch? If you buy the 6.7L Powerstroke diesel, you're getting world-class torque, but you're also getting an emissions trap that is so sensitive. A single bad batch of diesel exhaust fluid can put your truck into a 5 mph limp mode. Consumer Reports and JD Power have consistently flagged the 2026 Super Duty for major engine peripheral issues. Why are we paying a $10,000 premium for a diesel engine that is essentially engineered to fail its own emissions test? Have you ever heard of the CP4 fuel pump? Mechanics call it the grenade for a reason. When it fails, it doesn't just stop the engine. It sends fine metal shards through every injector, every fuel line, and every rail in the system. The repair bill? You're looking at $12,000 to $15,000, and it's almost never covered under warranty if the dealer can find a single drop of contaminated fuel in the tank. In 2026, the emissions standards are so tight that these heavy-duty engines are essentially choking on their own exhaust gases. The diesel particulate filter has to regenerate constantly to burn off soot, a process that creates massive, localized heat under the hood. I've seen 2026 F-250s come into the shop with melted wiring harnesses and brittle plastic components simply because the exhaust system gets so hot during a cleaning cycle. Is this a truck you can trust for a cross-country haul with a 15,000-pound trailer? Or is it a liability that forces you to constantly scan your dashboard for the next system error message? Would you rather have a truck that can tow 30,000 pounds on a spec sheet, or a truck that can actually finish a 500-mile trip without requiring a $5,000 sensor replacement? Why are we accepting a reality where the work truck has become more fragile than a luxury sedan? Are these the only trucks you should be worried about? Unfortunately, no. Have you looked at the 2026 Rivian R1T? Consumer Reports put it on the least reliable list because of phantom battery drain that is so severe, owners are waking up to find they've lost 10% of their charge just sitting in a cold driveway overnight. And what about the 2026 Chevy Colorado? Why is a mid-sized truck having transmission shudders and gear hunting with only 5,000 miles on the clock? Is the new 8-speed transmission just not built to handle the torque of these high-watt output turbocharged 4-cylinders? So what have we really learned from the 2026 reliability disaster? We've learned that newer almost never means better and more. Expensive certainly doesn't mean more reliable. Why are we letting manufacturers treat us like unpaid beta testers for their unproven technology?